What do you want to talk about this week? Puppet of former Premier Bill Vander. Whoa, same thing we talk about every week, Eric. Oh yeah, what's that? Why is there someone hand always up our asses? Whoa.
So I told him to come on up.
Leave your shocking, true, and most real confession. 604-336-3896.
I promised that I wouldn't tell a soul, but if you really want to know...
Dial 604-336-3896 and leave your fascinating or even alarming innermost secrets.
I didn't think I'd have the nerve, but what could I say? I really like him.
That's 604-336-3896. Totally free. You don't have to pay anything unless you want to.
Welcome to the living room, 604-336-3896. Welcome. Today on the show, we learn a little more about AI. Well, it's not AI, it's machine learning, but we're gonna learn more about it. Learn. Sorry, it's the first show alone. I'm stumbling. What can I say? But we're gonna learn about AI and how it's being sold to you like many snake oils of the past. Also, a mental health check is about grief. Abby DeForest is here to share a little bit about that. But before that, it's Ken Sim, our mayor, and weaponized language and how inappropriate it is to do what he did. We'll talk about Sim Shady, which is what I call him, not Ken Sim, because he's Ken Sim, but his last name is Sim, but he's shady, so Sim Shady, put two and two together, you get applesauce. It's lies upon lies upon lies upon lies is basically what happened. And there could be more lies. But weaponized language. But first, let's talk about machine learning, shall we? Remember summer skiing?
Join Brian McKay, Edgar Vosaldis, and Scott McKay and bring some WD-40 because we're going roller skiing.
But there were like 10 dudes, let's be clear, this was all guys, and there's no woman that's gonna be like, hey guys, let's put some wheels on some skis and go down a hill full of rocks and trees. But they were into it. They pushed hard for it to become a popular sport. They even had Olympic dreams, but that was absolutely crushed because this is a stupid invention. Summer skiing is about as lame as the pogo ball.
Pogo ball is what they call it when you're hopping and bopping everywhere. Pogo ball is what they call it when you're rocking and rolling in the air. So get on the pogo and get off the wall. A pogo is the thing to do. Pogo is my favorite way to have a ball. And pogo ball's the thing for you. Yeah. Pogo ball is what they call it. Pogo ball is what they call it. My favorite way to have a ball.
Pogo ball was a ripoff of the pogo stick that saw you popping a hole probably 2 feet, maybe 1 foot in the air on a rubber ball with the rings of Saturn around it. At one point in history, we thought these were the lamest things ever made. But for just a little while, they were the second coming of Allah. But we, the consumer, are suckers for trends in being spoon-fed products. These products are stuffed down our throat the same way my aunt used to make me eat liver. No matter what she put on it or how long I sat there, I would not eat that liver because it's gross. Liver is the fucking filter of the body, and it takes the shit out through a filtration system. Then you're gonna eat it? What's wrong with you? It's a form of poop. It's the first form of poop that the body makes, just so you know. It wasn't until I took 13 trips to pee and flushed the liver I was hiding in my mouth down the toilet, only then clogging the toilet because my two cousins were doing the same thing. You see, the point is, even if we don't like it or don't know what it is, we will consume it and flush it down the toilet when we get bored clogging up the entire planet with our crap, like so many liver chunks that have come before. Right now, it's AI. AI is a big thing. AI will soon sew your prom dress for your kid. Soon it will be the moil doing the bris. It is everywhere. It's been around for a while, but now it's in our face. All these rich and powerful people telling you, hey, they could not function in a society without AI.
One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to like figure out science and whatever to produce you, and then you took whatever you took. So the fair comparison is if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once its model is trained to answer that question versus a human? And probably AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis measured that way.
I think we now know what's wrong with Sam Altman. He wasn't raised by AI, that's why he's a weirdo. Even more recently, Sam Altman said he wanted to treat information like a utility. You turn it on and off, and you charge for it. Sam, we already have that. We have unlimited access to basically all the knowledge on the planet in history for a nominal fee. Well, it's actually not a nominal fee. It's $120 a month, and it's called the fucking internet. Elon Musk, the most trusted man on the planet, is selling you his AI that will post a picture of you online only to digitally rape you after. Why are you on X, by the way? I'm just wondering. It's weird. But of course, billionaires, they're trustworthy people. They're in it for us as a society on a whole, and that's why they hoard all the money. Let me in on a little secret for you. That's what I'm saying. They're lying to us. You are a sucker. Me too. Don't worry about it. What? No, Eric. How dare you? That's not true. I'm a well-informed taco with 2 solid sides of structure built to upload the flood of fake stories and nonsense companies sell me. I don't get got. You get got. Well, I get a tasty taco filling full of facts and vitamins. Sure, you vitamin-sucking sheep. But what do you mean, Eric? This has never happened before. Why would it happen now? Have you never fallen for some billionaire sales pitch? Excuse me? Chipotle sauce, Taco Man? Remember the metaverse and how Facebook changed their company name to this new tech that's going to change the world?
I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Our apps and their brands, they're not changing either. And we are still the company that designs technology around people. But now we have a new North Star to help bring the metaverse to life. And we have a new name that reflects the full breadth of what we do and the future that we want to help build. From now on, we're going to be Metaverse first.
That's not enough. Here's a couple others to refresh your memory. Apple Image Plus was added, the VR goggles, Snoop's digital real estate, NFTs. Right now, we're in the middle of the same thing that happened to that picture of a monkey that was an NFT. That was the only NFT ever, I think, that I know of. I ever really saw that one. It's the monkey. It's locked in a vault somewhere, only to be forgotten, and when it's bought, still question if it really ever existed as a thing. It can't be replicated. What are you talking about? AI will soon be that monkey. It's a bubble, and it will pop like so many pimples on the teens' faces using AI to cheat on their tests.
Tech leaders seem to be suggesting that the AI boom might be heading for a bust. The CEO of Google is joining what are growing warning calls.
Investors have been a little concerned for a while, but the narrative here is really, really strong. And this idea of are we overinvesting or are we underinvesting, right? There's a lot of investors who think that AI is undervalued. And if you talk about AI as this kind of magical thing that we will be producing some, mystical intelligence, right? Which there's no evidence that that's what AI is going to be. The upside is unlimited for a lot of investors. And that's the tricky part of this narrative. And that's why a narrative like that is so compelling of, we're creating this magical intelligence tends to drive such overexcitement, which drives overinvestment, which perpetuates this cycle that just kind of feeds on itself. And, you throw debt into that mix and it keeps feeding on itself. And then you have something that, looks bubble-ish, we'll say.
The number one reason that the AI bubble is going to burst, AI doesn't exist. The current version of what we call AI is actually machine learning. Machine learning is really a good, efficient Google search, like really good. And until recently, AI was called machine learning, because that's what it is.
So I was just at the hotel polishing the talk I'm going to give tonight for the awards, and it literally has a historical blow-by-blow of why we can't trust this term, why this is a marketing term, not a technological term of art, and why I don't believe there's any non-sloppy way to use it, because it is an anthropomorphizing term that is sort of an umbrella over a heterogeneous set of techniques and aspirations, not a specific term of art. And I remember in 2010-ish, it was 2012 was when this blew up, and I'll go into that in the talk for those of you who are there. And then Google, something's blowing up when every single, the OKRs at the company level, which are the goals you have to meet, are, suddenly include this like buzzword. It was mobile, then social, then AI. And they were calling it ML. It was machine learning in Google. And then suddenly there was some marketing decision to switch it over to AI. And, which is a much more powerful narrative. If the derivatives of our surveillance business model and our monopoly on compute can be sold as intelligent, generalizable tools, like bingo. We are in every industry there is. We are threaded through governments and infrastructures, and then you have Rishi Sunak simping for Elon Musk because these guys have become more powerful than nation states on some axes. So I think we really have to check this narrative and its anthropomorphizing force, because these are pattern matching statistical techniques that are able to see, trends in surveillance data, but that is not a reflection of our complex dynamic reality. And in fact, it's often a mismap of the histories of, internet toxicity, the histories of our unequal, misogynist, racist histories and presence that then get mapped as objective, as justifying inequality as biological destiny. So I think we need to be very careful.
So don't buy what these billionaires are selling you, even if they wrap it up in a little bow that's so nice and tawdry. Tawdry? Saying they're advancing technology into the future. Humanity is nothing without it. It's very debatable. But they will trick you with big words and fancy marketing terms like LLMs or large language models. That's what ChatGPT is. But there's just a wee little problem. That was the Scottish accent from the ghost from Star Trek, where they went to the planet and everybody was Scottish. Large language models, this is a quote, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, my mic, I'm just checking on. It's my first show alone. I'm checking my mic. I'm doing 12 things. Large language models, or LLMs, are sophisticated neural networks specifically designed to understand, process, and generate human language. So where machine learning models analyze specific patterns and structured data, LLMs digest vast libraries of texts from books, articles, your diary, and all the secrets you shared in it, to websites and social media, to grasp the intricate patterns and structures of language itself. Despite their impressive capabilities, LLMs have notable limitations. They can confidently say confidently, as well as I did, but they can present incorrect information known as hallucinations. They can struggle with recent events beyond their training cutoff, consume enormous computational resources, and sometimes reproduce biases present in their training data. End quizzote. AI has hallucinations. Think about that for a second. So there's a bunch of data flowing into these databases at such a high rate, and because AI is actually now just a snake eating its own tail, it's eating a snake eating its own tail of stuff that it's created, because it's ate all the stuff, and now it's creating the stuff, eating the stuff from that tail, the tail that's its tail. So it's overwhelmed with information. It has actually something called hallucinations. That's actually when it sees John A. McDonald breakdancing on Bob Ross's afro when you ask it for the recipe for a bundt cake. It shares thoughts that are similar to your drunk uncle at Christmases rambling about aliens. You're telling me you're going to rely on a machine that's on meth? All right. Sam Altman, the weirdo space guy, all these machine learning hiding as AI salespeople are selling you stuff, so you should stop buying it. It's very clear that capitalism does not always make things better. Unlike summer skiing, that shit looks like it would make any day funner and deadlier.
Roller skiers have a good slogan: never ski through a buffalo herd.
But the point is, if there's something in the news, some technology, that seems like a Star Trek type coolness, like a replicator or a photon torpedo that explodes into a box of replicating kittens, and it sounds way too good to be true, then it is. Today's information is a product. Everything's a product now. So when you see a new trend online or anything that requires a massive amount of information, which machine learning uses, like the massivest amount of data ever, like the whole world of internet worth of data in the history of data, reproduction and storage, ever. Remember, these are products. No matter how much we want it to love us and fill the void our parents never did, it's being sold to us. The easiest way to tell if something is a product is look at its growth and dollarino potential earnings. OpenAI is valued at around $500 billion. The AI startup ecosystem is valued around $1.2 trillion for now, because it's a bubble and about to explode. The only things these companies are leading us into is Ramageddon, which is a thing too.
As artificial intelligence is becoming more common, the technology required for personal devices is becoming more expensive.
RAM's a pretty important part of computers, and RAM's going to be about 3 times more expensive comparatively to what it was even last year or last month.
Random access memory, better known as RAM, is crucial in the functionality of nearly all forms of personal technology, from computers to smartphones to gaming consoles and even TVs. But it's not always powerful enough to support AI.
There's sort of the traditional RAM that we all use in our phones, our cars, laptops, like say your PlayStation. And then what AI needs is a slightly different product. It needs what we call sort of a high bandwidth memory. And so it's similar in concept, but it's built sort of completely different.
So Mezcal says many major producers are shifting their focus to build technology that can meet the increasing demands of AI. That means it will likely strain the supply of traditional RAM for consumer products. The impact is filtering across the country.
And no, it's not a bunch of computer chips that became a sentient hive mind and amalgamated into some type of giant computer chip monster called Chipzilla that is currently fighting another chip monster called Ramosaurus Rex in downtown Vancouver. It's a real world where you're paying octuple for more RAM. I'm paying more for RAM than Jeff Bezos pays for his giant hedge around his Hollywood home. He pays something like $500 a month for that giant hedge because he doesn't care and he's rich. So let's just slow down and not jump on every train that comes rolling through the station with a cool new futuristic taco. Stay off the train, people. We know where trains can take us. Have some lemonade while you take the chairlift up a dirt path to do some wicked rad summer skiing and grouse. Yeah. NFTs, man. Look, I would protest, but I'm a procrastinator, and that gets confusing when you don't know what you're doing, and it's been so long since you were supposed to do it. Sorry. Whew. Sorry, I'm late. No more war. of 1812. No more war of 1812. No more war of 1812. No more war. All right. I think someone called it Christmas Gate. Ken Sim, mayor of Vancouver. Liar. I can say that and not get sued because he lied. Well, it's my opinion that he lied. Maybe there's a reason I get sued because there's no proof that he lied, I guess. He bent the truth, so I can't say that. But you're this close to being able to say without a doubt that Ken Sim lied. So he said that a city councilor, Sean Orr, was selling drugs on downtown east side of Vancouver on Christmas. Sean Orr came out and said, no, that's ridiculous. I was on the Sunshine Coast for Christmas. You've got your ducks in a zigzag, not a row. Mr. Ken Sim, why are you doing this? What is it? Ken Sim came out with something about he didn't know. He said, apologized 15 times in a minute to Sean Orr at an impromptu press conference. Sean Orr is now suing him and all this. But I think that we're stuck on this Sean Orr lie, which is not good. Don't lie about other people ever. Unless they're, selling AI to you because they're just lying to you. So just lie back. But it's the weaponized language. Dustin Godfrey, ace journalist, brought this up, and I've been pondering it. So Ken Sim sat down in front of Chinese media and said one thing, and then he came in front of English-speaking media and didn't say the same thing. He said something else. See, the problem with more about the lie is that what else has he been saying to the Chinese community? What lies is he telling? This is weaponized language. I call him Sim Shady because that's what he is. And I think the bigger picture is the way we use language. And there's a good example of the meth lab below Canada in the US of how everybody's just running off at the mouth and saying things without consequences. And I think this is a direct result of showing or being seen or being shown from people in power that you can just bullshit your way through it. You can make something up. He said it was an AI image, but that's just a load of dookie doo-doo. It's dookie doo-doo. And we're talking about the drug poisoning crisis. We could have taken this with a few misdirections or redirections of questions. We could have taken this to where it matters, which is talking about the drug poisoning crisis that kills 7 people a day, for God's sakes. Because that's why if Sean Orr was, which he wasn't, down on the downtown east side selling drugs on Christmas, which he didn't, he wasn't, and it hasn't happened. Why was he down there selling them? Because there's a problem. And the mayor uses language as a weapon. I can't wait till he's gone. I call him Sim Shady, and there's a reason for that, because there's a new hit song all about our mayor of Vancouver.
Councillor Sean Orr. Just this Christmas, he was handing out illegal drugs.
I called Councillor Orr, and I did apologize for my comments. And I apologize for my comments. Letting everyone know that I did apologize personally for my comments. And I apologize for my comments. And I apologize for my comments. Well, like I said, I apologize for my comments. Everyone knows that I apologize to Councillor Orr. My apology. I apologize. So, and I apologize for my comments. I apologize personally to Councillor Orr for. So.
And what was his response to your apology?
I apologize for my comments.
You probably don't like me.
Cause I'm Sim Shady, yes, I'm really shady. All you other shady mayors are just imitating. So won't Mayor Sim Shady please step down? Please step down. Please step down.
You probably don't like me.
Okay, so we're just talking about Councillor Sean Orr allegedly handing out drugs, as said by Mayor Ken Sim, which was proven he wasn't. It's all bait. It's all made up. We missed out on opportunities. It's fine, but it's connected to the drug poisoning crisis that's happening and the daily death. So today's mental health check. I haven't really dealt with death a lot, I guess. With anybody super close to me, my dad was human garbage. I didn't care when he died. My Oma is the only person that's really died that I really had a a giant place in my heart for, that had left a giant hole in my heart when she left. So I don't think I'm good with death. I probably will freak out in an immense way when my dog dies, Teeny Turner. If my mom dies, if I witness that, I don't know, that'll be weird. I have a weird thing with my mom. I don't know how I'll react when she dies. It's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, life's different. We'll talk about that in the future. But what do you do? I don't know. I'm not good with death. That's the point. But because we're surrounded with death, with the drug poisoning crisis, as I said, we're talking about grief and how to handle it. And we have someone here to help us. She's going to be a regular on the show. Her name is Abby DeForest. And funny thing about Abby is you spell her name with a small d, a small e, then a capital F, O-R-E-S-T. So when you're Googling her to get help with stuff, that's what you Google. She's a registered therapist, and she's going to share a little bit more about grief with you.
One thing people often misunderstand about grief is that it isn't just pain. Grief is actually love. It's love that suddenly has nowhere to land anymore. So when someone dies, especially when it happens suddenly, all the conversations you thought you'd still have, all the laughter, all the care you had for that person, it doesn't disappear. It's still alive inside you. And sometimes that's why grief can feel so overwhelming. There's all this love moving through you, but nowhere obvious to place it anymore. So here's a tool I often suggest to people. Find a quiet moment and talk to the person you lost, out loud if you can, in your car, on a walk, in your bedroom, wherever you feel safe, and tell them what you miss. Tell them what's been happening in your life. Tell them what the kids are saying. Tell them what you wish you had said to them. It might feel a little strange at first, but something powerful happens when that love gets to move again. Because one of the deepest truths about grief is this: love doesn't end when a life does. Take care of yourselves.
All right, that's it. Solo 1, kiss your mother, be a little nicer tomorrow, and we'll see you next time.